About 6 weeks ago, with the garden in full spring swing, I was all set to make a farm update video. I almost never do this because even though traditionally they get a lot of views for gardening channels on YouTube, the education is minimal and the long-term value is very, very low. Fortunately, partway through, I discovered a plant in need of serious attention, and well, the rest is history. Spring is here, which means most plants are growing like crazy. And that's great because most plants around here are actually my crops. But there's some places on the property that I've yet to develop, and other places that I've abandoned and relocated the plants elsewhere. This jungle back here used to be a 12-plant highbush blueberry patch and lettuce utopia. It was great. I ran the patch for about 6 years until I decided to move the bushes elsewhere. I never did replant the area, and of course, nature moved back in. Not surprising, but what I didn't expect was a residual leftover in the form of a 1 to 2 year old blueberry plant trying to eke out a living in the 10-foot tall grass. So, allergies aside, let's rescue this little beauty out of here and get him into some more hospitable growing conditions. Jeez, it really has become a jungle out here. I'm amazed that I even found this little guy without even looking for him. All right. Let's go rescue a blueberry bush. Oh, jeez. Now that I've cleared somewhat of a path to where the blueberry plant is, let's look at what I need to do to get it out. It seems to have multiple stems, which tells me that maybe it's older than I originally thought, and possibly not a volunteer seedling. Either way, I'll have to clear out this grass around it so I can see what I'm doing. Despite drowning in weeds and grass, the plant actually looks amazingly healthy. Although with this level of overgrowth, I doubt it would have lasted another year. Okay, enough cleaning. Time to dig this guy up. I want as much of the roots intact as possible, so I'll dig a 6 to 8 inch perimeter around the base. Blueberry plants are not deeply rooted, so this should be a cinch. See? That came up pretty easy. For sure, this isn't a seedling. My best guess is that when I dug up the 12 blueberry plants and moved them back in 2019, this guy was an offshoot or some sort of rootstock that maybe got missed. Smaller root ball than I had hoped for, but the plant is very much healthy, so I'm not too worried. I do want to remove a lot of the soil from the root mass, not only so that the roots can get into some new, better soil, but also to remove any possible weed roots or seeds that may still be hanging around. Easy stuff. Next up, I want to clip off any dead stems or branches to really clean up the plant. Now that it's all cleaned up, you can see the blueberry plant's shallow root system. This is typical of pretty much all the varieties of blueberries. Okay, normally I'd set these guys up right back in the ground, but I don't have the new blueberry area ready to go. And actually, I might not have it ready until next year. So, we'll have to use a pot. For blueberries, 5 gallons is the absolute minimum, and bigger the better. Regular potting mix will do just fine for these guys, but stay tuned to the end as I got a little trick that I do with my blueberries every time I replant them. I just fill the pot up most of the way and then make a depression right in the center, the same size as the root ball. I want to plant this guy high up and at minimum, observe the original root color. Backfill with that same potting mix and compress it down firmly but carefully to really hold it in place. Good stuff. Now, what about that little blueberry trick that we talked about earlier? Now, this trick works because blueberries are acid-loving plants. Their desired pH range is 4.5 to 5.5, which is much, much lower than any of our other fruits and vegetables. So, one thing I like to do whenever replanting blueberries is to add some elemental sulfur to the soil. It's slow release, and actually it only activates by contacting the soil. Not even water will dissolve it. You don't need much. I only use around 50 grams for 5 gallons. Just spread it out evenly right on the surface. All we have left to do is to mulch to protect that top layer of soil and those really shallow roots. We want to protect them from any summer temperature extremes and from drying out. I'll give the plant a really deep and thorough soaking, and that's it. It's pretty fortuitous to have found a blueberry plant just hanging on in an area that I haven't stepped foot in over 2 years. I'm happy to report that the plant not only survived, but it's thriving and has even produced a small crop of berries. Amazing. My hope in documenting this blueberry bush rescue is that maybe some of you will see that all is not lost and that you can bring back a plant from the brink in your garden that you might have otherwise given up on. Hey, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate the support more than you know. And if you're getting value from these videos, please like and share them to spread the word and help your fellow gardener to grow better.